Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. We're going to be looking at the week of June 12th through June 19th, and we have a very wonderful super full moon in Sagittarius that's happening on the 14th. Now, it will be at like 5:51 a.m. Mountain Time, so it'll, of course, vary throughout the world wherever you may be at. But there's some wonderful things coming in. First of all, it is a super full moon, which means it's going to be closer to us. Like I have a little diagram here of this is the sun and this is the earth and here's the moon. The full moon happens when it's over here and it's shining, beyond the earth where we can see it. In the night sky, of course. But it's called a super full moon because the moon does not orbit in an exact, orbit, very exactly circular. It's more oval. So when it's, orbiting like this and it comes into a closer spot normally than when it's out here, these are when they are super moons. So that's what's happening. It's just closer to the earth, which means that it has more of a gravitational pull. It's stronger energy, and so it's going to be extra emotional energy. And oh yay, but what's great is that it is in Sagittarius, and so that Sagittarius energy really brings in this fullness, this kind of fruition. It can have some drama, either, exciting dark drama or exciting happy drama, because it can bring in that optimism and the good luck of that Sagittarius and Jupiter energy that comes in with that. And it always goes, Sagittarius deals with travel and international things, language, cultures, international business, even learning and education. So there's going to be a lot of themes that can be happening and being touched by this super full moon during this time. And we are definitely going to look into that, because the Sagittarius energy also allows you to see things from a higher perspective. So that's one thing that we will look at for your reading, is what can you see from a higher perspective this week. Another exciting kind of astrological thing that's happening with that super full moon is that the Neptune is actually going to square with the sun and the earth, and the moon. So that is not a super fun kind of energy that comes in with it, because Neptune is going to be whispering too. So there could be some confusion, there can be some self-doubt, some second guessing of yourself. And so that's one thing we'll look at too, is what is Neptune whispering in your ear about your worth. So we'll look into that too. But that's kind of like not the bad news, it's just challenging news. But the positive news is that Saturn is actually at a beautiful degree with the moon, which is basically Saturn's all about long-term gains and like extra oomph, extra energy coming in that's going to help you with some forward movement, especially since Mercury just came out of retrograde, like on around the 3rd or 4th, and towards the end of this week on the 19th is when we're completely going to be exiting out of even the shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So you're going to have all this energy to have this forward movement. So that's something else we'll ask, is what long-term gain can Saturn bring into you? And then, of course, we'll also dig in for some advice. So an exciting reading. I can't wait to get into this for you. I have going to provide a reading for each zodiac sign. And I'm going to go ahead and start with yours right now. All right, Scorpios, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off with pulling from the Oracle of the Seven Energies to find out from that Sagittarian higher perspective what the Creator would like you to see. Now, any of the cards that I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below, and we'll go ahead and start off. Give these a good shuffle, and jump into your reading. All right, there we go. So for all of our Scorpios, what would you like them to know? What is your advice on what they can see a higher perspective on this week. All right, this is the one right here. And you've got the Time Machine, card number 3. So you definitely get to see timing from a different perspective. Let's see what other energy comes in here with this one. Of course, the key energy of this is inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, and honoring the past without being trapped there. It says we rely on stories we inherit from our ancestors, our families, our culture, and the world around us to construct a map of our reality. As we develop new stories in life, we build on those old foundations. We repair them when we can, or tear them down to begin again. So the best and most powerful traits and experiences of your ancestors are yours to integrate into your life so you don't have to revisit their hardships or rectify their mistakes. You have a magical map with which to navigate your current circumstances. Look to the past for answers now. Ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who came before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? What might I do differently? Sometimes we walk blindly into traps set in the past, and perhaps you couldn't see that you were repeating a pattern until you were well in it. So the best course of action here is to rest. Practice self-compassion and make a conscious choice to do something differently next time. Clarity will come. Remember that if you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got. So history repeats itself only if you allow it to. The most important thing is that you are becoming aware, and you can make a different choice regarding how you respond to life right now. Yes, things can be awkward and uncomfortable as old hurts are revealed and new solutions are attempted. The time is ripe for you to change, so keep going. Every step is important. Allies will rally, but in the end, you are the one you've been searching for. One day you will remember how your beautiful new story was just around the corner. Yeah, I love that. So you definitely are seeing this different perspective on your life, seeing things from that. It's like through hindsight, right? A lot of beautiful reflection that's happening in your life right now. And of course, Scorpios, you are the masters of transformation. So you're used to looking back and going, okay, I'm changing this, I'm changing this, I'm changing this. So this is just another one of your times that you're doing this. No biggie, you're used to this, but it is beautiful because it is, it feels like moving to another whole level. And that's what I like. Looking at life not as like this linear thing that we're moving along, but as a spiral staircase. And though sometimes it's like the environment looks similar, you're not the same because you've gone up a whole nother flight of stairs. And even though there's windows that you're looking at and you're like, that looks familiar, you're actually seeing it from a higher perspective, and then a higher perspective, and a higher perspective, and a higher perspective, and a higher perspective. So you're not the same person you were the last time you went through it. You have so much more information, you're so much stronger, so much more aware. And I love that. And then we're going to look at the Black Tarot to see what message or what Neptune is whispering to you during this time, about your worth. So let's take a look, give these a shuffle, and see more information here. All right. So what is Neptune whispering to our Scorpios this week? Okay, it's that one right there. And you've got the Hierophant. Yeah. So this is about going to another level. And I love that because all the planets, all of our, posse of support, all the creator spirit, everything that's unfolding in our life is unfolding for us. They don't do things to try to make us fail or to punish us or do anything like that. Everything they do is for us, for our path, for our movement forward. And the Hierophant is about, it's number 5. It's the major arcana. It is about change, about movement. And what they're telling me, what Neptune's whispering in your ear, are all these allegations about your worth of you can't go to that next level. You're not ready. You actually have fallen down the stairs backwards. You're back to where you were before. It's doing all this stuff to rile you up and to razz you to where you're like, no, wait a minute. That is not true. They're kind of riling you up to have you, in a way, defend yourself, to come up with the facts and reflecting back to where you've come from to now. And like, no, you've actually, you're so much further back than you ever were before. And you're like, no, I'm not. Look at this and look at that and look at that and look at that and look at that. Look how far I've come. And they're like, and then they grin and they go, exactly. And so they're rallying you up because there might be this momentarily, not necessarily feeling sorry for ourselves, but just feeling low, feeling like we're not doing well. And it's funny because when we are that way, when we're like, I don't feel like I've accomplished anything, and if someone goes, well, you haven't, you're actually kind of worthless, you're like, what? And then you stand up for yourself. It's like your inner hero stands up going, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I wanted you to, tell me the things you're proud of, the things you see that I've done. But like it said in here, you are the one you're looking for. You are the hero that you're looking for. And then with that, you do see that you have grown so much and you have gone up so many levels. You're like on the skyscraper up 50 floors. You're not at the ground level. You have done so much work and made so much progress. Now, we are going to look and see what Saturn is capable of bringing you as a long-term gain. And I have been saying that Saturn is not a nonprofit organization that's just giving you gifts, hoping that you make a donation to them. No, they are a taskmaster. They're like, if you do these things that are being brought up for you, this is what Saturn can bring you if you do this. So I'm going to use these You Are Awesome deck, because you are, and we're going to see what long-term gain Saturn will bring to you if you do this mission. And it's not mission impossible, it's mission possible. So let's take a look here. So for our Scorpios, okay. Didn't even need to finish. And I'm just going to show you this here. Like you think you're holding on by a thread by your tongue, huh? It says, I restrain from assumptions or caring about judgment. There are a chameleon reasons why I express myself the way I do. Some are for fun, just like tongue ups, strengthening your tongue. I love this because this is basically what they're saying. If you do this and you stand up for yourself and you look back and go, you know what? And it's not about being arrogant, going, look, I'm so much better than everyone else because look what I did. It's confidence. Confidence is realizing who you are, the strength you have, and where you've come from. Arrogance is about comparing you to other people, going, yeah, I am so much better than them. It's like, okay, you went into arrogance in that. But if you're just like, you know what? I am strong. I've come so far. Look at where I was and the steps that I've taken. It's like having this pride in yourself and learning to speak up for yourself. And it doesn't necessarily need to be external, but you are doing these pull-ups with your tongue because your self-talk is becoming stronger for yourself, not, downplaying and accusing yourself of, being less and small and all that, is becoming stronger. And so this process, this long-term gain, is this confidence that you'll have with yourself going forward because of that. So I love it. And then we are going to pull from these Chinese tarot and just see what advice Spirit has for you for this week. All right, so for our Scorpios, what else would you like them to know about this week here? Okay, do you want that one and that one? That one and that one. And that one and that one. All right. So we just get these into place. All right, so we'll start here. You have the Strength card. So you do find your inner strength. You do find that you are the one that you've been looking for. That's the whole thing of this card, is that here's your human self. It's the animal side, and then you have your human self. Usually, in a standard tarot, you'll have like a infinity symbol on or above the human side, and this basically shows you that this is the two of you that are having this human experience. You got the animal side, the human side, the character that you're playing, and then you have the actor behind the character. This is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. Kind of the brief story of this card is that your human side comes down here and it's hungry, and so it looks outside of itself and all these things to define its worth, to fill up its tummy and to quench its thirst, but it realizes all that external stuff is unstable, because relationships is one place we look and people change or pass away. Situations is another place that we're told to look, which is job, education, social status, etc. And we know situations never stay the same. And then we're also told to look at things like our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts. And those things, of course, break down, deteriorate, are stolen or burned down. So it realizes that all that stuff out there is a letdown. It's not filling. If it fills you up at all, you're hungry or thirsty moments later. So you do, like these Chinese tarot, I always say it's like Chinese food, because American Chinese food, the stuff that's in it, like we eat and then we're hungry moments later. It's not as healthy as the real Chinese food, but so that's kind of the feeling that it has. But then it's so desperate, it's hangry, it's hungry, angry, it roars. It's not aware of its higher self yet. But our higher self is always aware of our human self, and so it hears us roaring and it comes down. Now, it doesn't come down to kill our human side, our ego, to put it out of its misery. It doesn't come down and cage it to protect people from us, and it doesn't try to control us and manipulate us with a chair and a whip like they do in the circus, because it knows what our human side is hungry for is the unconditional love of back home. And it's very convenient that our higher self is made of that unconditional love. So they're able to come down and give our lion side a big hug, give it the love that it's been looking for, and it transforms from this hangry, roaring lion in the jungle to a purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, its thirst quenched, and feeling love that it's never felt before. It's feeling that fulfillment. And with that introduction now of that, the lion is aware of our higher self, they're able to walk together hand in hand, or I say hand in paw, through life, going forward in a new way, because you found what you're looking for from within. And that's basically what this was talking about here, is this is what you've been searching for all along, and that's what gives you the strength, the tongue ups here. This is that inner strength that you've been looking for. You find it from within yourself. Yeah, because here's the Lovers. Beautiful. So you find the love that you've been looking for from inside you. And the Lovers also is this awareness of the power of choice, of emotional choices. Every moment you understand that you do have these two places that you can choose from. One is from the lion place, which was the fear of losing conditional love of the outside world, or from up above, that unconditional love that you have from your higher self. So this whole thing that you're looking at here too, with looking back over where you've come and where you've gone, you're realizing that you get to choose what emotion you're going to experience through anything. And so you do have this power that comes through all of this as well. So let's see what else you got here. Yeah, 9 of Staves. So 9s are very much like the Hermit card in the major arcana. It usually shows a hermit that's going inward for his search for wisdom. He has a big lantern that he carries, and within it is this bright star, and that star is your higher self. So the 9s are coming here. The 1s are your energy. It's your drive, ambition, passion, etc. But it's your energy, your spiritual energy too. And I feel like this is telling you that you find this energy from within yourself, not from the outside. And so this journey, this energy that you get back, comes flooding back to you too, because instead of investing all that energy and trying to have all those outside things, stay on top of it all, and just, it's like we were talking about before with that lion, just he's desperate. He's just trying to get all this food, and the more he eats, the more hungry he becomes. And finally he's like, I don't have to invest all that energy in trying to eat of the outside world. I get to find what I'm looking for from within. And then all this energy comes in from your higher self, but also you're investing less energy in the outside world. This is this perseverance. This is the strength that's coming in, allowing you to move forward. Yeah, and then you have the 6 of Cups. So cups are your emotions. And with everything that's going on here, this is like your memories. You're transforming your memories, and because you're able to look back, especially with this Lover's card here, and awareness of who you are, all this energy. You're going to be able to, with this reflection backwards, which is such the 6 of Cups, it's the nostalgia card. It is looking back over your past. And you're able to look at those emotional situations and those emotional memories in such a different way when you realize that every moment is these between two choices, right? When you look back at a memory and you're going, is it a painful memory? Yes. Well, then it wasn't of unconditional love. So it was the other choice, the fear of losing conditional love. And when you look back at a memory and it's full of fear, you don't have to experience all the fear all over again. You can just take a deep breath, sit in this love, sit in this strength, remember who you really are, and then look at what happened when you're in that place of peace. Don't go back and relive it all. Just look at it like you're going by it in a train or something. You're looking at the scene. We're going, oh yeah, look at what I went through. When you look back at it and realize that if the memory was of fear, then with the awareness that when our little lion goes into fear mode, it activates an alarm. When the little child in us, whenever it feels unsafe or out of control, it sounds the alarm. We go into fight or flight mode and we go into fear. It will do whatever it feels it needs to in a reactionary, animalistic way to feel safe again or to feel in control again. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a reasonable response, a mature response. It's more like going to be very reactionary and animalistic without the care of how it's impacting anyone else. So when you realize that and you go back to this memory and you see that what was happening, that you were most likely in fear, and that other person that was saying something or doing something was in fear, trying to get control, trying to feel safe again in whatever weird reactionary way it might be. Same with us, we're acting weird and reactionary. We see that, oh, so that's what was happening. When the human mind goes into fight or flight, blood rushes from our brain to our arms and our legs to not think and to run or to fight, right? So it's fight or flight that we go into. Well, because the blood's rushing from our brain, we are literally out of our minds, so we don't stand there and get eaten by something instead of fighting or running. So when you look at that situation and go, okay, I was out of my mind, they were out of their mind, and now you start looking at the situation differently. It wasn't as personal as I thought it was. We were just two scared tigers trying to survive, and now I'm like, okay, my actions toward them weren't personal. I was in survival mode. Their actions toward me weren't personal. They were in survival mode. So you start looking at the situation differently. You start looking at them differently. But really, more importantly, you start looking at yourself differently. So this reflection that you're going on here too allows you to have some compassion towards yourself when you're looking back at what happened. And it allows you to have a little compassion toward the other person too, going, wow, they were really freaking out and scared. And that's why they were acting like a fool. All right, so we'll move on to the next one here. Yes, 9 of Cups. So you go from the 6 of Cups to the 9 of Cups, another 9. This is you finding emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment from within. So you definitely move into this feeling of wholeness and completeness through this process here. It's part of the long time gain that comes from it. Yeah, and then you have the 7 of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And it's normally called the Thief card or like the Deceiver card. But this is because this is your thoughts and your beliefs. And throughout this whole process, everything we talked about here, you start to realize those thoughts and beliefs that you've been holding on for so long, which ones of those are your thoughts and beliefs that have been deceiving yourself. And so there is this awareness that comes, but again, with compassion and with just forgiveness for yourself, letting yourself off the hook for the actions that I did when I was in fear, and letting other people off the hook for the actions they did out of fear. And you're like, I get it. You know, when I believed this certain thing, I had no other choice but to act that way, right? And usually the 7 of Swords will show someone like carrying 5 swords and leaving a couple swords behind, because it's kind of this thievery. You're leaving with some swords, but you didn't get them all. I look at it as you've already dropped a couple of your thoughts and beliefs, and you're moving forward, and you're going to be dropping some more thoughts and beliefs and dropping some more thoughts and beliefs as you go too. So very freeing, lovely reading for you here, Scorpios. And again, you are the masters of transformation, so you're used to doing this and letting things go and opening up for new things and new experiences and new ways of looking at yourself. So I'm so excited for you moving up these more and more spiral stairs as you move up here. And if you are looking for even more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out a monthly reading for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, also click the subscribe button. That gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on my channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like a video, when you share a video, comment on a video, and especially subscribing to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am very, very grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, beautiful Scorpios, as you go through this amazing week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'll be talking to you very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.